It's still really important to me to offer both services to clients, and actually I think they both inform each other. So a big thing in terms of the training is I bring to that training room, whether it's virtual or in person, lots of experience. I've done what I do in finance for 25 years. I've worked in massive companies, ones that are listed on the FTSE Stock Exchange, global international businesses. But I've also worked with the manufacturing business that's two friends that started something in a shed in West Yorkshire. What that means is that pretty much everyone that walks in the room, I've worked with a business like theirs. And I've worked with a business like theirs where I know how they do or don't make money. And therefore I can relate the challenges that they face, the questions that they're asked, the way in which people talk to them, the focus of that business. And I can make that relatable because I can link back the sort of slightly more generic stuff to the things that are specific. I've done a lot of work in my career with people in the legal profession and very bright people, not used to not being the smartest person in the room, but most of them have a blind spot when it comes to finance. And it's simply, in my opinion, because they've never been educated and trained in that area, and yet they go through all of their career and they pass all these exams and they do all this work and they work really hard, and then they get to being a partner and they're suddenly asked to run a business. And they've never run a business. Well, so why should we expect them to know and understand finance at that stage? And I think lots of the financial training that they do receive on that career path just isn't up to standard, isn't what they need. It isn't commercially focused enough. So I think the ability to bring into the room the real world examples is what sets things apart. It's that ability to be able to flex an answer and say, yeah, okay, you work in this kind of business. It's totally different to someone else in the room, but we're going to find the common ground and we're going to find the stuff that works. And equally, working as a finance director, I love to work with businesses where you can really see the tangible output. I'm working with a business at the moment that is really growing, really thriving. They're on quite a trajectory. It's an exciting place to be around, to play a small part in. But in many ways, a big part of what I'm doing is educating them and help them understand not only the numbers, but understand which of those numbers are the most significant for what they're trying to do. And I think that's the thing that people get misaligned or misunderstand when it comes to finances. There's loads of it. There's loads of information. And actually that isn't the skill. The skill isn't the preparation of the information. The skill is looking at all of those documents, all of those numbers, and picking out the one or two that are really, really important. And the reality is, in every single business, I'd say there's between 3 and 5 key metrics that if you get those spot on, everything else follows. It doesn't mean you don't have to stay on top of things. It doesn't mean you don't need to be aware of other things. But genuinely, there will be, as I say, somewhere between 3 and 5, definitely no more than 5 metrics that matter for your business, both right now, but also with where you're trying to take it, what you're trying to do with it. And therefore, the ability to be able to relate information. One of my clients says, I just love those extra bits. The Martin view, he says, we know our business, but you look at it through a different lens. And that adds value to them because they're not thinking about it in those terms. I generally come along with an alternate point of view. And it's not that we disagree, it's just a lens that they've never looked at things